basically cover every aspect of our lives, right? And as I've been building with some of the brothers out here, some of the brothers who play basketball and whatnot, we had this conversation, and politics, arts, and culture, how relevant is it, right? Well, is there politics in basketball? You better believe it, right? You better believe it. Or could you say that basketball, what a lot of the moves the brothers is doing, is it elevated now to an art form? You can make a case for that. Is it part of our culture? Certainly, right? So certain like these things where they say, if y'all saw the movie where, the devil was in the legal form, De Niro and all that, I forget what it was. But he said, man, you're the devil. And when you choose to come, why did you choose to come through law? And he said, because the law is in everything. That's how politics, arts, and culture is. It's in everything, right? It encompasses every aspect of our lives. And so, for instance, right here, right, at RCC, is there politics on campus? Right? You better believe it, right? Is there culture on campus? Right? You better believe it. There's a campus culture. And with all the different programs and classes that we have that actually are in the arts, traditionally, right? But then all sorts of people through here, what you do in your spare time. Maybe you like to draw, you paint, you got an idea to make a film or whatever it is, right? But that, once again, that politics, that arts, and that culture encompasses everything. So since I've been here, to tell you a little bit about my little story, I used to go here in 1989, right? So even before that, I used to work in this building on a construction, brothers get little construction jobs, right? So I was working in this building when it was being built, okay? And then when it was done, came back here, went to school, 1989. Okay, flash forward. And funny story. Some of the teachers are still here. Right. Like Ken Tangic, y'all, I always joke, but like that man deserves the gold watch. You know what I mean? All right. So been here since 1989. So now, flash forward, I'm a grown man. I got a daughter. My daughter comes to live with me. My daughter just turned 21. She's about to start college, and she's nervous about starting college. And I said, well, baby, I ain't been to school in 30 years. So if you sign up, I'll sign up. And so now, daddy and daughter is back here at RCC together, right? And on top of that, what I do outside of this is, I'm an activist, I'm an artist, as you'll find out in a minute, spoken word poetry, conscious hip hop, and all that. And so then when I come to school, I'm still me. I bring me wherever I go, all right? So when I come to campus, I want to do activism on campus and organizing on campus and arts on campus. If y'all sometimes I see around here and we're talking like some of the people here, and it seems like everybody sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes a lot of people like, what they used to do in the cartoons that, you know what I mean? And so sometimes it seems like we have low self-esteem, right? And sometimes it seems like there's low energy, like school spirit, get motivated. Once again, talking to the young brothers on the basketball team, it's basketball. We can't even get a good crowd at the games. So, to support these young, I don't even like basketball. I'm gonna start going to the games just to support the young brothers, right? So it's a thing where trying to inject a little bit of oomph, right, into wherever you are, right? That's how I see it. So whether it's on the job, whether you dealing in your personal life, a relationship, whatever, put a little pizzazz on it. I'm always gonna use words like pizzazz, but y'all say like sauce, right? Let it drip, all that stuff, right? So whatever it is, though, we have to put a little bit more into it. And we here at this school, we are blessed with such an opportunity. First of all, look at where we are. This location, man, there are people right now who are salivating, like condos, right? But you think that they won't knock this thing down and turn this into some condos in a heartbeat? Or you think that they won't turn this into Northeastern East? And they just keep that, they'll just keep that thing going, okay? They'll make this into dorms or something else, whatever. So you get the point. The fix is in. We're in a prime location, in a beautiful facility, recently built, everything is, we got tech and stuff, right? So we have a lot of stuff, resources at our disposal. The beautiful Reggie Lewis, right? The beautiful Media Arts Center. So once again, my philosophy is let's get it popping. Let's look at what we have. We have people here, a lot of times we like to do stuff like, we Black and Latino, right? Okay, well, What type of black? That's very limited. You know, you black. Oh, you got African, right? You got Caribbean, West Indian, right? And then not just that, but how many Africans? Everybody in this school, by some point, you've had some interaction with an African, okay? And unlike some environments where you just might meet somebody from Ethiopia or somebody from Kenya or somebody from Nigeria, you've met a bunch of folks from different places in Africa, right? Okay? The Caribbean, you don't just got Jamaican, Haitian, right? You got a bunch here. Latino, it ain't just Puerto Rican and Dominican, you got a bunch here. So my point is Asian, you don't just got Chinese here, you got a bunch. So what I'm saying is we have one of the most, I'm gonna step out and make a non-factual statement because I have no data and facts to back it up, but I'm gonna guess and assume that we have the most diverse community college campus in the vicinity, right? Okay. In the state, can I say the state? The state, okay? Right? So with that, now this is kind of the reason why we do something like this. Because if we here at RCC, with this combination of people, we are some of the baddest people on the planet Earth. World renowned to get down for thousands of years, okay? We encompass all them nationalities and ethnicities I just mentioned to you, right? We have some of the best food on the planet. Is that correct? Okay. We got some of the best music on the planet. Is that correct? Okay. But then here we are at RCC all together and we can't even have a damn party. We can't even figure out a party and like a potluck dinner. So my point is, that's what I'm trying to inject in the game, right? So that everybody just feels a little bit more invested, take a little bit more accountability, and let's do something. Let's do something fly. Let's make it pop. So to that end, RCC-PAC, Politics, Arts, and Culture, student group. I want to have the most poppin'est student group in the history of RCC. I don't know what the biggest student group ever was, but like, I want at least 50 members. I'm gonna feel like a failure if I don't get at least 50 members, all right? And y'all gonna help me. So now this is the part where I start getting into the preacher mode, right? Y'all lucky I ain't got no little plate to pass around. But for real, I'm really trying to recruit and win you over. So there's flyers on the back and all that. You gotta go up on my RCC, you know the my RCC thing. They got a student group page. You can all do it, but if you left the email back there, I'll send you an invitation or whatever, but if you wanna sign up live while you're here for the group, sister in the back, Shantae, got the tablets and all that. You can sign up right here live, log into my RCC. Got the flyers in the back, so get involved. Okay, food back there. I see a lot of y'all got your own stuff. Please, I bought the stuff, you know, let's eat it up. Oranges, bananas, healthy stuff, carrots, celery, some crackers, right? Some soda, whatever, go get it, all right? And that's about it. So without further ado, we about to make it do what it do. I'm gonna do a little bit of poetry, and then we're gonna get back to the music. All right? Now, generally when I perform, you can have a little something. Yeah, a little something, beat something, just real low, whatever. But generally when I perform, I kind of ask people where we go. Generally, a couple of themes is, you know, something where it's more love-based, right? Love-based is more soft and easy, right? And then sometimes it's more hard, right? We're talking about hard issues and whatnot. So where y'all want to start? Hard or soft? Hard. Hard? Okay. Okay. This is not a poem. This is a threat. This is a warning. This is a promise. This is a cry for justice falling on deaf ears. This is a plea for mercy asked of the merciless. This is a prelude to revolution, the calm before the storm. This is a call to arms. This is life or death. This cannot straddle the fence, play devil's advocate, or flip-flop on the issue. This is consistent. This is never yielding. This is not fly-by-night, wishy-washy, here today and gone tomorrow. This is not a poem. This is a eulogy, a manifesto, a list of demands, a suicide note, a last will and testament. This is not a poem. This is a death threat, a ransom note. This is a declaration of war. This is a wake-up call. This is the truth. This is in your face. This is what you need. This is not what you want. This is unpopular and unapologetic. This is ancient. This is steeped in tradition. This is sacred. This is not for you. This is not a poem. This is too hot for TV. This is that shit. This is not a fad or a phase. This is a way of life. This is healthy. This is real. This is not fake. This is unbendable and will not break. This has gone too far, across the line, stepped out of bounds, because this is not a poem. This is a warning. This is a threat. This is a promise. This is the last line of defense, and this is not negotiable or subject to debate. This is your foot in your mouth. This is my foot in your ass. This is a slap in the face. This is a kick in the groin. This is not fair. This is not a test. This is a reality check. This does not give a damn who you are, where you're from, or what you do, because this is not about you. This is not a poem. This is a death wish. This is a curse. This is a blessing in disguise. This is rebellion, insurrection. This is moving forward in all directions. This is making connections. This is not listening to your lies. This is making corrections. This is smashing the mirror containing vain and egotistical reflections, because this is not a poem. This is therapeutic. This feels good. This is not concerned, not worried, not scared. This is prepared. This is trained, honed to a fine point. This is a lethal weapon, and I am a one-man gang, and this is not a poem, and I am not a poet.
Woo!
We all right? How y'all feel? Right, you see what I'm saying? Y'all lucky I don't know them James Brown things. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna learn that one day. I live in the limelight of obscurity, on the brink of arrogance and uncertainty. And certainly my hurtings are hidden behind curtains so none can see. Because everybody loves a good tragedy, and they will run and come to see. Because drama and trauma just seem to come to me. And I have little idea how this has come to be. As far as most are concerned, you can cease to be. They will watch death live on TV. We have become desensitized and numb to the constant hum of the machine that produces madness through white noise which drowns out the sound of the drum. We are the total sum, finite and infinite, fragile yet hard as stones thrown at thrones. I am only skin and bones, my people shades and tones, surveilled by drones, surrounded by chalk lines and cones on streets where there is nothing that we own. We even lease our phones. Keeping up with and feeding our Jones, waiting on tax returns and payday loans, hated by the world and clowned by our clones. We are demonized by real demons and beguiled by devils. This shit got levels. We live inside of a labyrinth of lies disguised as truths. There seem to be no way out. Every corridor, every passage, every turn is blocked in a dead end. We live inside of a maze of mischief set up by the mischief makers just to watch you suffer. They thrive on your confusion. They are masters of illusion. And the fact that you think that you are in control is but a sad delusion. We are everything and nothing, unique and the same, wild and tame, raindrops and wind dancing with flickering flame. If agitated, contents may become unstable, contents may become volatile, contents may become unviable and thereby discarded by the wayside, forgotten and unspoken. The statue of a god once worshipped and praised, now buried and broken. I live in the shadow of my own self, constantly moving to chase glimpses of light. And after decades of diligence and dedication to my duty, I still can't say I got it right. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to y'all tonight. There is no pretense and purpose, and power pushes past pain. Once all doubt is removed, only love can remain. Now I'm gonna do two more, and then I'm gonna get out your ear. One here is for my favorite subject, which is the black woman. So throughout history, particularly for our people who are maternal, based people, right? And when you get into like ancient African civilization and so on and so forth, the woman was always revered and sacred, right? And you had women who were warriors, you had women who were queens, scholars, the gamut, right? And sometimes too, we forget, like I told y'all about people who kind of like down on themselves, right? So one day, I was on the bus, car was in the shop or whatever. I had to take the bus back home. I hate the bus. And I was on the 23 or something, and it was super loud, and you know how it'd be crazy, and all the kids get on there, and you know, it's interesting. How many times do you think you could use the word nigger in 60 seconds? How many N-words do you think you could fit in a 60-second span? Because if you're ever on the bus, it's very interesting to hear that when the kids get on. Everything. Yo, what time is it, ma? Yo, it's 2 o'clock, ma. Everything is this, right? So I was watching this reel. I'm just watching it like, wow, this is really deep. And these kids don't know like their own worth and importance, right? And so a lot of them got off, and one sister was there, and of course after everybody got off, now she quiet. Now she looked back to normal. A minute ago she was turned up, right? But now she's back to normal. And I'm just sitting there looking at her, probably like, man, she might have been like 24, something like that. And in the event, looking at her like, wow, look at this beautiful, she was beautiful, right? Like, beautiful inside, beautiful outside, but what I'm saying, like, physically, all the things that people say, wow, she's gorgeous, right? She's that, right? So I'm looking, wow. But, too, all the makeup, the weave, the big, the clothes, everything was super, like, extra, right? Everything was overdone, right? So I'm just sitting there and I'm picturing, man, if I could take this sis, right? And like peel away all that the crap of the world, right? That what you are left with, that essence right there, that's that queen stuff. So God bless you, black women. This poem I did it before. It's my favorite poem, and I performed this. Have y'all ever heard of the group Les Nubians? I know the group Les Nubians. Nobody know? You know? So. This is on an album with Les Nubians. I perform this all over. To the Queen. You remind me of the queens I fell in love with when I first saw culturally accurate depictions of my historical sheroes. I wish I could build monuments to you and enter cities through the arches of your 30-foot legs. I would chisel your face on the inside of my temple and worship at the altar of your bottom lip. I would leave offerings on the tip of your tongue and bow my head in prayer before you. Excuse me, did I say that? Or is that all I said? I meant to say that I would skywrite your name in graffiti across the Milky Way like a b-boy god in love, but that's really not my style. And complimenting your eyes or your smile seems so insignificant when you are so magically magnificent and deserve so much more than I. When all I can do is try to muster up the audacity to approach you like a schoolboy fan about to solicit an autograph from his favorite female movie star. You remind me of a star, appearing close enough to touch, and yet further away than I could probably imagine, and still shining bright enough to light a room. A star that wise men would follow, and like a star, I feel that my destiny is somehow wrapped up in you, but I can't prove it. My queen, I am burning with desire. Would you not dip yourself of yourself and cool but my tongue and bear my young and listen to songs that I would much rather have sung by the heavenly host? Because you are the most beautiful creature I have ever beheld and never held. My queen, could I trouble you for a moment of your time, which is so valuable it eludes time and takes up no time in my space, because your place is wherever you wish it to be, and my only hope is that you somehow include me. Remember me? I cannot forget the times we met, because it was more than once, and all at once became once upon a time when my fantasy stepped into my reality and did so innocently. My queen, at this point, I love you seems like the simple utterings of an idiot, but my feelings don't stutter. Heart flutters like butterflies who land on beautiful flowers like you, only to partake of sweet nectars. Peace. All right, this is about to be it. So, y'all might have seen me over there when we were still setting up writing. I used to do this a lot at poetry clubs and whatnot, write on little coffee napkins and whatever, like on the spot, so I hit you. So I've been thinking about a lot of stuff lately, and this is what came to me about this. Sometimes people try it. They think that they can create pressure and apply it. You trying to move and they create obstacles. You trying to get free and they create shackles, trying to bind you by wrists and ankles. You see choices, they see limits. You see options, they see problems. And your boy got a nerve to try to solve them, resolve them, dissolve them, We shall move the mountain or tunnel through it or run around it, but we will not be hindered, and we shall not be moved. Point proved. Making the music that keeps savage beasts soothed. All right, so now we about to get down to the funky jammy jam session, because that was all introductory. So, you know, we're gonna let this guy go loose and do his thing and get the music going, and hopefully the spirit shall so move you, and at some point these chairs might disappear and we could really get a jammy jam on. I got my Adidas suit on. Y'all don't want it. All right, so have fun, enjoy, thanks for coming, and please don't forget, spread the word about the RCC-PAC. You know, join up, sign up, get a flyer, whatever, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Spread the emails on my RCC and all that good stuff. All right, thanks for coming, and back to DJ Bobby Bangers.